Alright, today we're having a look at Color with Crayons by Big Boy JB71. Alright, so here we are in Color with Crayons, Purple Playground, and I saw this on Twitter, and I can't... Okay, so Interesting. Move? How do I move this? No! Oh, possess. Maybe. With the imp, because they did say that we need the imp. Wah! I don't know if that was good or not, but we're gonna do it anyways. Hello. Come and grab me when you're all colored all the blocks. Gotcha. Okay, so square button. No, chiao. O button, janakte. Didn't we use the square button before? I could have sworn that we did that previously, and then we did not do that. I'm so confused. Grab this. I saw it. I cannot grab you. I cannot grab you. Oh, piffle. Hopefully we don't need to do that. Move me. But I want to color you first. I do think it is the square button, but it doesn't trigger automatically. I did see this kind of sort of on Twitter, and then I lost the tweet, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to it. So, can I get you? I really like the way this looks. I think that if I remember the tweet correctly, which I may not, it's quite possible. I believe that Big Boy JB71 made this with his daughter, and there was a. Oh, I keep on falling down. It's me. I'm looking at 12 different things at the same time. Hi. I believe, if I recall correctly, that this was made with JB71's daughter, and that is pretty cool, actually. I like. Hi, parent-child teams working together, making something really cool. And this is really cool. It does look really cool. Got that colored in. Excelente. We do have the bit on top that's telling us how much that we have colored. And once we've got everything colored in that we're supposed to, I guess we go back and... Excuse me! No. There's a big block over there that clearly needs to be colored in. So we're going to work on that. Hold on a second here. I am so confused, and it's okay. Confusion is okay. I'm holding the O button. And the O button's not doing anything. And I died. Oh, crumbs. Get out of that crayon box. You don't need to be in there. That's not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be saving this world. Yee. I think I buggered things up again. Hi. What is it that we're doing wrong? That's what I want to know. Because I'm liking everything I'm seeing so far. It is... Oh, fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks! I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's got a really cool look to it, and it's got a really cool concept to it. I like... Don't fall. Can I color you in? I'm hitting the square button, but I don't seem to be coloring anything. A double jump makes me flip around, and that is cool. Like, it's that empty box, right? The empty box is we are allowed to color. We are supposed to color, I think. Maybe we're not standing correctly or in the right spot for it. Like, so how do I... Okay. I love these little... The drawings here. I feel like I'm... Oh, wait, I just touch it. And then, I guess, it colors. But I could have sworn I touched the other one before. I want to do well on this because I think it's really cool. I think it's really neat. But... I'm not doing well is the problem. I'm doing poorly, and I don't know if the poorly is on me or is on the level. Alright, so like if I flip around, does that color things in? I mean, it would make sense, right? Because I'm touching my head to the thing that I'm supposed to be coloring, and, you know, we all color with the crayon tip, right? That's the thing that we do? I don't know. Maybe it is. I haven't used crayons in a long time, so I could be completely wrong. Okay, we want to pull out of that, and we're going to pull you over here. Nifty! Yeah, come back. Stay. Thank you. It's like talking to a dog. Or a cat, really. Something that doesn't want to really listen to you. It's interesting, this kind of going back and forth between the character and the imp. And I don't know how I feel about that quite yet. Oh, God, we've only got 21 seconds. This is terrible. And by terrible, I mean I really wish that we're doing better. But we're going to try to get as much done as we can here. Now, I guess we got to pull this back over. But yeah, it's not so common that I see an imp character interplay. Oh crap, we are already at 5 minutes. So we got to talk about the Spec the Hub. We'll see you there. See yas. And we're back. And Color with Crayons by Big Boy JB71, and I would say that it is a yellow square. It's a bit of a weirdly soft yellow square. It does a lot good. It does a few things that are a bit iffy, and it's got one point in particular that's kind of weird that I feel like we need to talk about a little bit more. But as to the positive sides of this, and one thing I wanted to say right off the bat is that it is a family collaborative creation, and I really like the idea of that, and I found it a little bit touching. And JB tells us in a note in the level, and there are a couple of notes in the level that are tucked away but give, I think, salient details to the creation of the level, that the voice acting and ideas came from his daughter, and the music came from his son, and the patience with putting the level together came from his wife, and all of these elements together, made this creation. And I thought that was really cool, and I am kind of touched by the idea of families or close friend groups putting together their own creations as a unit and giving them into the world, not just individual creations. And that was really, really cool. And I want to say, even though I can't really highlight it, unfortunately, because I haven't figured out the logic for that yet, but the voice acting done by JB's daughter was actually really quite solid. It's really quite good. It's fitting to the level. Got a nice tone to it, so aces for that. Good job for that. And the music as well. I found the music to be particularly good in the level. The actual kind of presentation, the visual presentation and layout of the creation, and I liked it with some reservations. I kind of liked the idea of this kind of a creation room, a sketch room type of environment, and it's got all the pieces that are necessary and diegetically pleasing to that type of environment. You've got kind of coffee cups that have, crayons and pens in them, and you've got the erasers and bridges that are made out of rulers, and the crayon box and all of that. And I thought that was really, for the most part, pretty cool. I loved the character design of Purple Crayon. I say that a lot, and I'm going to keep on saying that. I was kind of on the fence because it seems like good character design has been a hallmark of a lot of levels that we've seen, but I think it should be pointed out, and I think that it should be celebrated when it is. There are a few neutral animations for the crayon when it's just kind of standing there, which is always appreciated. I like the double jump and the crayon flipping over. I thought that was a very nice touch. That was pretty cool. And the fact that it is actually labeled crayon on the side, purple on the side, I thought that was cool. These little details that add to environments and add to characters and make them feel a little bit more alive. And I always appreciate that little detail work, because it's really easy to miss that when you're putting together a level. It's really easy to just kind of gloss over those little details. So that in itself was cool. I like the effect of kind of coloring these boxes. We've got those empty squares, those empty cubes, and when we get on top of them and they turn purple, because we're Purple Crayon, of course, and we've got to get 20 of those to complete the level. And I just thought it was a relatively neat effect. It was a relatively cool effect, so that was appreciated as well. Now, the points that are a little bit against the level, and one is that it is a really physics-based level, or, well, that is to say that there are a lot of movable bits in the level, and particularly the ruler bridges that you can use to get, to cross over to different spaces there. They can be knocked down with the green blocks that you can move around with your imp. Now, that didn't present a problem in this level. I never found myself actually bricking the level and creating a situation where I could not move on. But if they're going to do, JB's family is going to do a second level to this, because they did tell us it's level 1. It's the purple playground. But maybe if they're going to do I don't know, orange orangutan funland or whatever, just to kind of keep in mind that if you're going to have things that can be knocked down, that there are alternate ways to get to where you need to be to actually complete the level, so that you don't have players that accidentally brick the level out. So I mean, it's something to just it's something to keep in the back of the mind. Another issue that I found was that while in general I did like the environment, I did like how the environment was presented, you've got an awful lot of white and light gray in that environment, which means that the white cube outlines can sometimes fade into the background, be a little bit difficult to find. Now I know that we want I imagine that JB wants those cubes to be slightly difficult to find. We do want to have a challenge in the level, but there were a number of times towards the end of the level where I was just kind of running around in circles thinking that I saw an empty cube, I saw an empty box in the background that I could color in, but when I got close to it, turned out to just be kind of a piece of the environment, one of those gray blocks, and we do see a number of these gray blocks in the environment. So I think that it made it a little bit more difficult than necessary to kind of parse where I needed to be and what I needed to be doing in any given time. And that kind of feeds into the last point. Now, I played through the level, of course, played through the level a couple of times. I managed to get 19 of these cubes in the couple of times that I played. And I found myself just searching and searching and searching for that final 20th cube, and I could not find it. And I was starting to get a little bit worried that perhaps I had knocked the cube, because before you color the cubes in, and even with the smaller cubes after you've colored them in, they are movable objects, and I had kind of gotten worried that I'd knocked one of those smaller cubes into the void. So I actually exited out of the level, reset my progress, start the level over again to get a fresh slate and try not to knock anything, try to get everything. And yet even still, I could not find that 20th cube. And I tried and tried, and finally I just said, you know what, I guess it's not doable. Maybe JB forgot to put it in the level, or maybe I knocked it into the void again. I don't know. I've only got so much time to look at these levels. As much as I'd love to spend like a whole day just working on it, I don't have that time. So I decided to just go and exit out of the level, and it threw me into an end of level cutscene that it said that I had found all 20 cubes, and balloons are falling down from the ceiling, and you could pop those balloons with your character, and I thought that was really kind of cool. But I don't know why that happened. The cubes clearly label themselves, they number themselves as you're coloring them in, so you can keep track, even if you're not looking at the top of the screen, you can keep track of what cubes that you found. So there's like an event flag that's getting triggered or something going on there, and I don't know what that was, and I don't know if that's something that JB intended, but I can imagine that there are going to be a lot of people that, like myself, that go and they find 19 of these 20 cubes and kind of get frustrated where the last one is hiding, bounce out, and then get the end of the level, 20 cubes completed, and just find themselves a little bit confused as to what all of that was. So, I mean, that was kind of a weird point that it popped up in my mind as I was playing, and I kind of wanted to mention that here. One other thing that I kind of forgot to mention, and this is in between the good and the bad side, and I don't want to say bad, but the good and the so-so side, that it is in a sense a bit of a split level, that you are working your character, but you are also working the imp, and that is used to relatively cool effect, kind of getting the imp to pull over platforms that you can cross over to the next sections and things like that. It takes a little bit of trial and error to get used to, and just kind of, for me, wrapping my head around that I wasn't just this character, but I was also the imp that was bouncing out of this character. I don't know if that might have been better achieved by having a secondary character, a non-imp character that kind of fit into the environment a little bit better, or not. I'm not saying to JB that they need to change that element of it, but it did kind of stand out as a bit unusual in my mind, and it did take a little bit of time to get used to how exactly to use that character and imp together in that environment. But it was a neat technique, and it's not something that I think I've ever seen in levels yet so far. Either it's been character or imp, but not character and imp. So this is kind of a cool way to use the different tools available to us in levels and in level design. I like this one an awful lot. I wish I knew what was going on with that 20th cube. Who knows? Maybe I just accidentally dumped it off the edge of the world, because I fell off the edge of the world an awful lot. I do look forward, I very much look forward to further levels in this creation from the Big Boy JV71 family. You've got all those colors in the crayon box. There's no reason to just limit yourself to purple. So, by all means, as much time as it may take to actually put that together, but by all means, I do encourage you to put together more, because this was really, really cool. And I encourage you, the viewers, to give this one a look and give this one a little bit of love. And if you can find that 20th cube, let me know in the comments. Tell me where it was, because I certainly couldn't. But I think that pretty much does it for us this go about. So from me, Risco, here in Osaka, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you. Arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.